Erik Killmonger, great character from Black Panther. He's a fan favorite. A lot of people love this character. I think he's one of the best villains in the MCU, along with Thanos. I tend to agree with that. This is a great character piece, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the details in terms of how well they resembled Erik Killmonger from the movie and how well the Marvel Legends series really put this piece together. I already love the accessories, the spear and the sword that comes with it, these beautiful African weapons that we see that he comes with, they're used in the movie, and he comes with a pair of clawed hands, and those claws, they look a lot longer than the Black Panther line in this series, so it's a bit more ferocious. So it's a great piece in terms of, I love the gold design on this. Kind of resembles some of the old Christopher Priest runs of Black Panther, where he's got the gold kind of design on his suit, so I really like that. We'll take a closer look at that design, see how it reflects the character in terms of who he is as a warrior and who he is as a character from the movie. As you can see on this side of the box, we've got a nice piece of Erik Killmonger. It is a Build-A-Figure line, so you got Black Panther Killmonger, you got Nakia, you got Black Bolt, you've got the Sumerian, Namor the Sumerian, and you have Iron Man as an additional character in this line. The first 5, you have the pieces that will build Okoye, and in this piece it came with the leg. I've taken it out already. It comes with the leg piece of Okoye, and then you put it together and you can create her as a warrior piece. But today, of course, we're going to be looking at Killmonger. So let's take a closer look at the character design in terms of the costume for Killmonger from the movie, see how well they got the details in terms of the design, how well it represents the Killmonger that we see in the movie. Okay, so looking at the official movie special book, here is Erik Killmonger, played by Michael B. Jordan, and obviously there we see him without the mask. This version doesn't come with a headpiece like a Michael B. Jordan headpiece, which is a shame. There is another line, the newer line that Marvel Legends released, that has the headpiece, which is a lot better. Here we see the likeness in the character. I mean, the design is really good. You can see the markings, you can see like that vicious kind of looking mouthpiece that he has is pretty good. So they have that there. Necklace designs a lot more extravagant than Black Panther's. You see in the movie, he's like, oh, when Shuri says to him shows him that in the lab, he's like, oh, you know, it's very nice, but the trick is to blend in, and obviously Killmonger wants to stand out in this. So you see obviously the markings, the tribal markings that he has on his body, symbolizing like a kill for him. So this is obviously very like traditional African rites of passage, maybe not necessarily for the reasons that Killmonger has them, but maybe a lot of warriors in Africa actually, and boys had to grow up with these kind of scarrings, and it's kind of a rite of passage, marking their body in that way. And we see it here. I mean, look, we can pose Killmonger like we do in the movie with his weapons. See how close we can get it to this piece. Right. So he's got the spear hand that way. He's kind of looking that way. So the head's a bit stiff, so it's a bit hard to pose it. Like it's decent, but it's a bit hard in terms of moving side to side. So you gotta kind of move him in a certain way to get that pose. But as you can see, I mean, that's not a perfect pose, but it is a similar pose. So you are able to get him in a lot of the poses you see in the movie. So that's really cool. And again, with his weapons, it looks very authentic. So yeah, that's a great little pose for Killmonger. And if you look at this book, which is The Art of the Black Panther Movie, great book, worth picking up. Some great designs here, character designs here, and you see the Panther piece here against Killmonger. Again, you can see here in the designs the leopard's kind of shapes, and these
these parts of the vibranium energy distribution source, they were designed to be more like its scarring, as opposed to Panther. As you can see, it's a lot smoother. It's got the Wakandan design a lot more integrated within the suit. This one, it sticks out more like the scarring. You see the spots as well, so it's very similar to his actual scars on his body. So that's how this piece is designed, which is really fantastic. Those little attention to detail parts are what you really look for in a piece. As you can see here, you can see those little spots, and that really symbolizes his kill count his kill count body scarring, which is on his suit as well, which is a great little detail that the filmmakers added, which I really love. And here we see the design by Ryan Meriden, and I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. And here with Killmonger, you can see the iterations that they went for with the suit. Again, you got this character design with Michael B. Jordan without the head mask, and with the head mask you see this kind of growling teeth. You know, it looks a lot more aggressive, a lot more angry, even the way the eyes are formed, and they really got that likeness very well. As you can see, if you compare this piece to the piece that I have in my hand, the likeness is very good. So Marvel Legends did a good job of capturing that facial detail, which is really good. And obviously the leopard spots in the design are in the piece here as well, which is really, really good for attention to detail. And as you can see, when the vibranium suit lights up, it's those pieces of the scarring are very different to T'Challa's smoother kind of Wakandan design, where you see there's like these kind of war tribal marks that he's got across the suit, which is very similar to the marks he's got on his body. So in N'Jadaka, that's his Wakandan name. And yeah, so here's the iterations of the suit. Again, very minimalist, apart from this design. Again, very African in terms of the necklace piece, but very minimalist because he's a warrior, and it's more like a ninja stealth suit. Apart from this piece here, but you want him to be mobile. He's a warrior, he moves very acrobatically as well as Panther does, so he wants to have that same kind of mobility. But I think they did a really good job in the design of putting the leopard skin, which is really homage to the comic book, because in the comic book Erik Killmonger has a pet leopard named Prey, and that kind of pays homage to that animal, because that's kind of almost like his animal deity is the leopard, not the panther. So it's not like trying to be a second Black Panther. It's more like, this is my suit of armor and my mantle as the Black Panther. I'm really like the Black Leopards in a way. So here they've got different iterations of the actual vibranium, and that's more like T'Challa's one with the purple glow, and that's more with a kind of white light glow, which is quite interesting. And again, you see the claws as well. The claws were really well designed on this, if you see with the other piece, a lot longer. I think with this piece, they made the claws a lot longer than T'Challa's, so it's a lot more intimidating, a lot more scary. So I thought that was pretty good. So some great poses here that you can get in N'Jadaka, aka Killmonger in, you know, but that would be with the other claw hands, to make him get these kind of poses in, these kind of pouncing poses. So it's a really good piece in terms of likeness. And then you see here some more pieces here with the eyes being shielded. See how it's got the gold pieces in the eyes as opposed to silver. So when you see Panther and you see Killmonger, you can kind of differentiate the two. Panther's a lot black, it's got more of a black design, whereas there's a lot more gold here. And obviously when the suit lights up with Panther, it's purple, that the vibranium energy source glows, as opposed to this kind of orange, yellow, or should I say yellow glow that we get from N'Jadaka, aka Erik Killmonger. So yeah, it's a great piece, and that's a great piece of art with him fighting Shuri. So yeah, they've done a great job in terms of the likeness of this figure and the design. So this design is great for a warrior of his stature. So yeah, really pleased with this piece. It's definitely worth getting.
So let's take a closer look at the character articulation for this piece and see if we can get him in some quite dynamic poses in terms of his fighting stances. Killmonger is a martial artist, so let's see what kind of poses that we can get this character piece in.
So the Erik Killmonger figure, beautiful figure, as we can see. Obviously he's got this beautiful African short spear, which he knocks down in the middle of the fight. So it's more of an offense. He's got two offensive weapons, which really states his intention. You know, you see in the fight with T'Challa, he's got a spear, he's got a short spear, and he's got a shield. Whereas he's got two offensive weapons in the short spear, which was a long spear, and he knocked it down in the just before the fight. And this beautiful kind of African sword that we see here. I'm not sure the name of this weapon, but it's a beautiful weapon. So I've got him here in the weapon grabbing hands. I'll just take the weapons out for a moment and we'll just look at the articulation. So if I just move those out of the shot. So with the articulation on this figure, you've got his head moves up about that much and down that much. Moves side to side, doesn't really swivel that much, as you can see. Got a full rotation here. It's kind of got butterfly joints, so it can move in and out like so. Here he's got a bicep swivel. His joint, kind of wrist joint, moves, rotates, as you can see. It's a bit stiff on the rotation when you want to flex, but on this part it's a bit thick, but it still rotates quite nicely. Anyway, the ab crunch, ab crunches that much, moves backwards that much. He's got like a waist swivel like this, you know, you move it pretty far. Can't really move side to side that much, as you can see. He kicks forward this much, which is okay, and he kicks backwards not too much, you know. It's a bit stiff, might just be my piece, but yeah, he doesn't kick backwards as much. Then he can move his knee. This is knee flex, point now, and you got the ankle pivot, which is pretty good. Move side to side as well. So it's got good articulation for some good warrior poses for Killmonger. Again, he's an elite martial artist and a soldier, so you want to be able to pose him in many different positions. And obviously he's going to be fighting Black Panther in the movie, as we see. So they're both skilled warriors, so you want to be able to use weapons, want to be able to do kick poses, you know, low poses and things like that. So he does it pretty well, and yeah, it's a good piece, you know. As you can see, it's got some great kind of markings on here as well. The leopard kind of markings, very different to the Panther suit. So there's kind of leopard spots if you look closely. And the vibranium energy beams are very different to T'Challa's. They're more mimicking the scarring, as you can see, that he has on his body, the tribal scarrings that he puts on his body as a mark for a kill. And this suit was designed that way. Actually, Ruthie Carter, costume designer, and Ryan Meriden, they were discussing that they wanted him to have that to kind of differentiate him from T'Challa's suit, and to make sure that this is more of a leopard kind of look than a panther look. So when they were fighting in the cave, that you could tell the difference between the two. So that's a nice detail to the design.